Hello, welcome to Anshika IS Academy. This is chapter number 7. Host Mauryan India of Tamilnadu Board 11th class history. Learning objectives. The Sunga rule and its importance, the Satvana rule and their contribution to culture, the Sakas and bacteria, Kanishka and its achievements, Gandhara art and the silent features. After the death of Asoka, his successors were not able to keep the vast Maurya Empire intact. The provinces started declaring their independence. The northwest India slipped out of the control of Mauryas and a series of foreign invasions affected this region. Kalinga declared its independence, and in the further south the Satavahana established their independent rule. As a result, the Mauryan rule was confined to the Gangetic plain and it was soon replaced by the Sunga dynasty. Sungas. The founder of the Sunga dynasty was Pushyamitra Sunga, who was the commander-in-chief under the Mauryas. He assassinated the last Maurya ruler and usurped the throne. The most important challenge to the Sunga rule was to protect North India against invasions of the Bactrian Greeks from the northeast. The Greek advanced up to Patliputra and occupied it for some time. However, Pushyamitra succeeded in regaining the lost territory. He also fought a campaign against Kharavela of Kalinga, who invaded in North India. Pushyamitra was a staunch follower of Brahmanism. He performed two Ashwamedha sacrifices. Buddhist sources refer him as a persecutor of Buddhism, but there is enough evidence to show that Pushyamitra patronized Buddhism art during his reign. The Buddhist monuments at Bharhut and Sanchi were renovated and further improved. After the death of Pushyamitra, his son Agnimitra became the ruler. The last Sangha ruler was Devabhuti, who was murdered by his minister Vasudeva Kadava, the founder of the Kadava dynasty. The Kadava dynasty ruled for 45 years. After the fall of the Kadavas, the history of Magadha was a blank until the establishment of the Gupta dynasty. The rule of the Sungas was important because they defended the Gangetic Valley from foreign invasions. In the cultural sphere, the Sungas revived Brahmanism and host sacrifices. They also promoted the growth of Vaishnavism and Sanskrit language. In short, the Sungas rule was a brilliant anticipation of the golden age of the Guptas. Satavahanas. In the Deccan, the Satavahanas established their independent rule after the decline of the Mauryas. The rule lasted for about 450 years. They were also known as the Andhras. The Puranas and inscriptions remain important sources for the history of the Satavahanas. Among the inscriptions, the Nasik and Nalgad inscription threw much light on the reign of Gautami Putra Satkani. The coins issued by the Satavahanas are also helpful in knowing the economic conditions of that period. The founder of the Satavahana dynasty was Simuka. He was succeeded by Krishna, who extended the kingdom up to the Nasik in the west. The third king was Sri Satkani. He conquered western Malwa and Berar. He also performed Ashwamedha sacrifices. The 17th king of the Satavahana dynasty was Hala. He resigned for a period of 5 years. Hala became famous for his book Gatha Saptasai and also Satsai. It contains 700 verses in Prakrit language. The greatest ruler of the Satavahana dynasty was Gautamiputra Satkani. He ruled for a period of 24 years from 106 to 130 AD. His achievements were recorded in the Nasik inscription by his mother Gautami Balashi. Gautamiputra Satkani captured the whole of Deccan and expanded his empire. His viceroy, our Nagapana, the ruler of Malwa, was remarkable. He patronized Brahmanism, yet he also gave donations to Buddhists. Gautamiputra Satkani was succeeded by his son Vasishthaputra Pulwami. He extended the Satavahana power up to the mouth of the Krishna river. He issued coins on which the image of ships was inscribed. They revealed the naval power and maritime trade of the Satavahanas. The last great ruler of Satavahanas was Yasna Sri Satkani. Economic conditions. There was a remarkable progress in the fields of trade and industry during the Satavahana rule. Merchants organized guilds to increase their activities. The craft Guilds organized by different craftsmen such as potters, weavers, and oil pressers also came into existence. Silver coins called kashapanas were used for trade. The Satavahana period also witnessed overseas commercial activity. Ptolemy mentions many ports in the Deccan. The greatest ports of the Satavahana was Kalyani on the west Deccan, Gandaka, Silla, and Ganjam on the east coast were the other important seaports. Cultural contributions. The Satavahanas patronized Buddhism and Brahmanism. They built chaityas and viharas. They also made grants of villages and lands to Buddhist monks. Vasishthiputra Pullavami repaired the old Amravati stupa. Their architecture in Nagarjunakonda was also notable. Brahmanism was revived by the Satavahanas along with the performance of Ashwamedha and Rajaswaya sacrifice. They also patronized the Prakrit language and literature. Halas Satsai is an excellent piece of Prakrit literature. Foreign invasion of northwest India. Bactrians. Bactria and Persia. Bactria and Persia became independent from the Syrian Empire in the middle of the 3rd century BC. Demetrius, the Greek ruler of Bactria, invaded Afghanistan and Punjab and occupied them from Takshila. He sent 2 of his commanders, Apollodotus and Menander, to further conquest. Apollodotus conquered Sindh and marched up to Ujjain. Menander extended his rule up to Mathura and from there has made attempts to capture Patliputra, but he was stopped by the army of Vasumitra, the grandson of Pushyamitra Shunga. Menander was also known as Milinda, and the capital of his kingdom was Sakala. Sialkot, he evinced much interest in Buddhism and his dialogues with the Buddhist monk. Nagasena was complied in the Pali work. Milan, the fellow Christian of Milinda, he also embraced Buddhism. And Greek ambassador Herodotus became a Vaishnavite and erected the Garuda pillar at Vaisnagar. The Greek influence in India lasted for more than a century after the death of Menander. Sakas. The Saka or the Scythian attacked Bactrian and Persian and captured them from the Greek rulers. Following the footsteps of the Greeks, the Saka gradually extended their rule over northwest India. There were 2 different groups of Sakas: the northern Satrapas ruling from Takshila and the western Satrapas ruling over Maharashtra. The founder of the Saka ruled in the India in the 1st century BC. The founder of the Saka rule in India in the 1st century BC was Maus. His son and successor was Ajij I, who was considered to be the founder of the Vikrama era. Sakas, ruler of Takshila, were overthrown by the Parthians. Kushanas. The Kushanas were a branch of Yuchi tribe whose original home was Central Asia. They first came to Bactria, displacing the Sakas. Then they gradually moved to Kabul Valley and seized the Gandhara region. The founder of the Kushana dynasty was Kujulu Confucius. Confucius first, he occupied the Kabul Valley and issued coins in his name. His son Vima Confucius or Confucius II conquered the whole of northwestern India as far as Mathura. He issued gold coins with high-sounding titles like the Lord of the whole world. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva. Kanishka 78 to 120 AD. Kanishka was the most important ruler of the Kushana dynasty. He was the founder of the Saka era, which starts from 78 AD. He was not only a great conqueror but also patron of religion and art. Kanishka's conquest. At the time of his accession, his empire included Afghanistan, Gandhara, Sindh, and Punjab. Subsequently, he conquered Magadha and extended his power as far as Patliputra and Bodh. According to Kalhana, Kanishka invaded Kashmir and occupied it. His coins are found in many places like Mathura, Sravasti, Koshambi, Benares, and therefore he must have conquered the greater part of the Kingidi clan. He also fought against the Chinese and acquired some territories from them. And during the first expedition, he was defeated by the Chinese general Pancho. He undertook a second expedition in which he was successful, and he scored a viceroy over Pyongyang. The son of Pancho, Kanishka annexed the territories of Kashgar, Yarkand and Khotan into his empire. The empire of Kanishka was a vast one extending from Gandhara in the west and Banaras in the east, and from Kashmir in the north to Malwa in the south. His capital was Purushpura or modern day Peshawar. Mathura was another important city in his empire. Kanishka and Buddhism. Kanishka embraced Buddhism in the early part of his reign. However, his coins exhibit the images of not only Buddha but also Greek and Hindu gods. It reflects the Kanishka's toleration towards other religions. In the age of Kanishka, the Mauryas. In the age of Kanishka, the Mahayana Buddhism came into Vaya. It is different in many respects from the religion taught by Buddha and propagated by Ashoka. The Buddha came to be worshipped. The Buddha came to be worshipped with flowers, garments, perfumes, and lamps. Thus, image worship and rituals developed in Mayan Buddhism. Kanishka also sent missionaries to Central Asia and China for the propagation of the new faith. Buddhist chaityas and viharas were built in different places. He patronized Buddhist scholars like Vasumitra, Ashoka, and Nagarjuna. He also convinced the Fourth Buddhist Council to discuss matters relating to Buddhist technology. Buddhist theology and doctrine. It was held at the Kundalwan monastery near Srinagar in Kashmir under the presidency of Sumitra. About 500 monks attended the council. The council prepared an authoritative commentary on the three Pitakas and Mahayana doctrine was given final shape. Ashwaghosa was a great philosopher, poet, and dramatist. He was the author of Buddha Charita. Nagarjuna from South India adorned the court of Kanishka. The famous physician of ancient India, Charaka, was also patronized by him. Gandhara art. The home of the Gandhara School of Art is the territory in and around Peshawar in the northwestern India. The best of the Gandhara sculpture was produced during the 1st and 2nd century AD. It originated during the reign of Indo-Greek rulers, but the real pattern of this school of art were the Sarkas and the Kushanas. Particularly, Kanishka Gandhara art was a blend of Indian and Greco-Roman elements. Specimens of Gandhara sculpture have been found in Takshila, Peshawar, and in several places of northwest India. The Gandhara school made sculpture of the Buddha in various sizes, shapes, and postures. The reliefs depict Buddha's birth, his renunciation, and his preaching. The silent features of Gandhara art are modeling human body in a realistic manner with minute attention to physical features like muscles, mouse-check, and curly hair, thick drapery with large and bold fold lines, rich carving, elaborate ornamentation, and symbolic expression. The main theme was the new form of Buddhism, Mahayanism, and the evolution of an image of Buddha. A large number of monasteries were also built from 1st to 4th century AD. Ruins of about 15 monasteries were found in and around Peshawar. In the Rawalpindi, the Buddhist stupas erected during this period had Greco-Roman architectural effect. The height of the stupa was raised and ornamentation was added to the structure of the stupa. These changes made the stupa more attractive. Mathura School of Art. The school of art that developed at Mathura in modern Uttar Pradesh is called the Mathura art. It flourished in the 1st century AD. In its early phase, the Mathura School of Art developed on all indigenous lines. The Buddha images exhibit the spiritual feelings in his face, which was largely absent in the Gandhara school. The Mathura school also carved out the images of Shiva and Vishnu along with their consorts Prithvi and Lakshmi. The female figures of Yakshanis and Apsaras of the Mathura school were beautifully carved, successor of Kanishka and of the Kushana rule. The successor of Kanishka ruled for another 150 years. Who was the son of Kanishka and he kept the empire intact. Mathura became an important city under his rule. Like Kanishka, he was also a patron of Buddhism, and the last important Kanishka rule was Vasudeva. The Kushana Empire was the the last important Kushana ruler was Vasudeva. The Kushana Empire was very much reduced in his rule. Most of his inscriptions are found in and around Mathura. He seems to have been a worshipper of Shiva. After Vasudeva, petty Kushan princes ruled for some time in northwestern India. Learning outcomes. The reign of Pushyamitra and importance of Sunga rule, the Satvana rule and the Gautami Putra Satkarni's achievements, the socio-economic conditions of the Satvana period and also their cultural contributions. Kanishka and his military achievements, the role of Kanishka in the spread of Mauryan Buddhism, the silent features of the Gandhara art and also Mathura art. Thanks for watching.